Hey everybody, it's Grateful.
And Sweet Face.
And today we got a special treat for y'all. Right now, I'm in the middle of a phone call with Lataxion, former NAACP vice president, right now. And we about to click over, and ask him some questions. Let's get into it because this is the interview. Yeah, this is the one we've been waiting on.
All right, let's go, Grateful.
I don't know how to click over, but here we go.
Bring him in.
All right. Okay. Okay. Lataxion, the people are here.
Thank you for your courage and looking behind the deceptive veil of law enforcement, prosecutorial misconduct, the implicit bias of the judicial system as it applies to us African Americans, and the sycophants and complicity of our organizational leadership when it comes to our interaction with these systemically racist institutions.
Well, yeah, thank you. Thank you for saying that. That's what we do here. You know, I really appreciate that, Mr. Lataxion. I do. Okay, so I'm hearing when you use words like systemically racist system and trust. I mean, trust. I'm familiar, but can you elaborate a little bit for those that might be saying, okay, here goes the race card again. So, like, you got any receipts?
I know there was an investigative report done by Deanna Pan of the Inland newspaper and a subsequent article by Rachel Alexander of the Spokesman newspaper that documented comments made by Leslie Haskell, the wife of his prosecutor of Spokane, Larry Haskell.
Okay.
Wherein she made racist and disparaging remarks about the Spokane branch NAACP, about Muslims, and called for the annihilation of a local black family.
Wow.
She was also documented on Facebook posing with the Proud Boys and proclaiming herself a white nationalist, calling MSNBC pundit Joy Reeves, quote, the true definition of an N-word. She also stated that my husband is the Spokane County prosecutor, and he's the last line of conservative armor that the county has. Now, these are her words, and she stated this in 2021. Now, can you imagine being married to a blatantly racist individual and not sharing those same views? This is not a question whether I like peanut M&Ms or plain M&Ms.
Right.
This is a blatant racist views that are being espoused by the wife of the head prosecutor of Spokane County. Now,
wait, so since the head prosecutor is her husband, did he condemn her statements or respond publicly?
Prosecutor Larry Haskell, when questioned about his wife's racist vitriol, stated, I acknowledge that she is a strong-willed person who will speak her mind. Now listen to the implicit and explicit racial bias of that statement to the Inlander News. While simultaneously under his authority, it has been investigated and documented that in 2019, just 4 years into his tenure as a prosecutor, a $1.9 million MacArthur Fund analysis that was conducted by the JFA Institute found that blacks were 13 times more likely to be incarcerated than whites. It found that black inmates were locked up longer, an average of 27 days versus 15 days for the average white offender, and the problem only worsened. The average time of incarceration for blacks had grown by over 50% to 45 days and up to 19 days for whites.
That's ridiculous.
Not to mention that while working in local policy circles in July of 2020, Larry Haskell attempted to remove racial equity language from criminal justice goals proposed by a reform task force which was composed of community members, elected officials, and stakeholders.
That's sad.
These oppressive tactics also affected referrals to therapeutic courts. There was a Sandra Altschuler in her capacity as drug and mental health court coordinator in 2020 who wrote a letter to the editor of the Spokesman newspaper wherein she stated that when Haskell assumes office, referrals to therapeutic courts dropped significantly, and more insidiously, virtually no people of color were referred.
So were any of these discrepancies addressed by Larry Haskell's office?
The prosecutor's officer was questioned by this disparity, and when these inquiries were made about this issue, Haskell's office refused to relinquish their referrals while claiming we don't turn anyone down. But many attorneys in Haskell's office said that they had, that they and their colleagues would receive reprimands for submitting referrals to therapeutic courts. Look at the pretrial percentage of blacks locked up. Look at the percentages of blacks' bail requirements. Look at the average stay of black people compared to whites in the Spokane County Jail.
Extremely lopsided.
Now, Larry Haskell's office, with the full force of the law, decides which defendant to charge, what and how many charges there are, and how strenuously to push for harsh sentences or even pleas. And though Haskell himself has not as of yet been caught spewing the racist vitriol that his wife Leslie Haskell has, his actions are clear. The data is clear. The documentation is clear that though he's not spewing these racist vitriol views, his actions and policies are oppressive and disparagingly aimed at black people. Now, I'm a black man. I was the vice president of the NAACP, and I am trauma affected. All categories revealed to be racially disparaged against by Leslie Haskell's word and her husband Larry Haskell's policies.
Yeah, you clipped out for a minute.
Yeah, we still got you though. Okay, so you're giving us a lot of what's going on behind the scenes, but I just have to ask what you can tell us that would shed some light on your case that we, the people, don't know yet.
Well, there's not much that I can say about my case while it's ongoing without jeopardizing the integrity of the case.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I want to make it clear that on 12/16/2020, during COVID mandates on gatherings, 3 days after this alleged incident, the president of the Spokane branch NAACP, Keonta Duncan, was contacted by my accuser. Now, at some point, my accuser arrived at Keonta Duncan's house. And according to Police Captain of Investigations Tracy Meidel, Keonta called off-duty chief of police Craig Meidel, who is Tracy Meidel's husband, called him at home, reported the allegation, and after that initial call, Tracy Meidel, which is the captain of investigations, went to the president of the NAACP's house, where Captain Meidel, the accuser, and Keonta Duncan sat and conversated. After which the accuser called Crime Watch to report the allegations against me.
Wow.
Well, believe it or not.
No, that just let me ask you something right quick. So we read the private investigator's report, but what about the reports from Captain Meidel, the police? What about reports from Ms. Keonta Duncan, the NAACP president? Because I haven't heard anything about any of those. So,
Neither Tracy Meidel, Captain of Investigations, Chief Meidel, Chief of Police, nor the President of the NAACP, Keonta Duncan, wrote a police statement. And as a matter of fact, none of their names were in my police report. It was Tracy Meidel who implicated both Keonta Duncan and her husband, Craig Mito.
So what are they
I was
hiding?
made aware of this meeting and this location between my accuser, Captain Mito, and Captain Duncan at about 7:30 a.m. on December the 17th to 2020 by someone who I will not name. After which I contacted my community supervision officer and turned myself in. Now that's not all. An organizational familiar reporter was contacted. A prefabricated press statement was given to them. And then, according to a colleague, Keonta Duncan called him and told him that he should withdraw his support of me. All of this was happening behind the veil, and not one of these individuals has integrity then or now to make contact with me.
Sound like you might have been getting, I don't know, just sounds like a political hit to me. Sounds like you might have been getting rubbed out, but.
Yeah, so has anyone from the NAACP contacted you since what, 12/16/2020?
To make contact with me. Not one. Now, I was wrong for arguing with a woman, but I did not commit this alleged domestic violence. As a matter of record, my accuser states that I continued asking her for my keys. I was attempting to remove myself from the situation, which exacerbated her anger and activated my trauma. While she was poking me in my face, then assaulting me with an object, I merely held her back in an attempt to defend myself from being harmed because she was intoxicated.
Bro, hello? Bro, you there?
Oh no, well, seems like we lost Mr. Lataxion's connection, but wow, did he dish or what?
Yeah, that's what he did, too. He kind of, it's probably why they had so abruptly disconnected his call.
Yeah.
He better be careful in there, and I'm hoping he didn't say too much on the telephone that could probably affect his case.
Yeah, I hope it can help, actually.
Yeah, well, that's our show for today. Thanks for tuning in. We're grateful and sweet face.
Thanks, everybody. We appreciate your time.
Yeah, and just remember, you ain't got to be great, just grateful. Now let's help amplify Lataxion, everyone, and share this post. Let's see if we can get the word out. And while y'all at it, subscribe, join our family, and watch Grateful and Sweet Face. You never know what we might get our hands on. Peace.
Have a good night. Thanks, everybody.